Okay.
But I'll give you the context. Like, I was having dinner with some of my best friends, and we were talking about like our values, right? And one of my friends said that if her kid was gay or identified as like LGBTQ, she would disown that kid or like make that kid be like keep that sexual orientation a secret. And for me, I was like, damn, man, like I would never do that. Like I would love my kids so much and like do that. That's just me, though. Okay. So I called my parents, and this is kind of what happened. Humble, spiritual. I believe in a power beyond me, omnipresent and present within me. I am the vessel. I am the vessel. I may not know exactly what my calling is, but it is calling. I can hear myself, strength, spirit, freedom, love. However, However, I was not always like this. Within the confines of white walls, I bashed like personalities in a schizophrenic brain. My parents were absent, and that created a void I tried to fill with sex. Why sex? Something about affection, temporality, and care drew me to its grasp, yet it abandoned me. I was familiar with abandonment and tortured myself with it. I could not escape neither house, school halls, or the backseat of cars. It was lonely where I lived. The more I escaped to sex, the more my parents tried to tie me down. The more they tied me down to cultural values, the more I broke out of them, broke their hearts. We were all broken. Broken English means clashing customs. We, all separate in our rooms, engaged in our own digital bubbles, whether it was TV, the computer, video games, landlines, cell phones, or Chinese dramas. We all ran away from each other because we could not face our own hearts breaking, our own disappointments. I cannot say that my parents were wrong for beating me, for working and not having the time to spend quality time with us, for yelling, for making us pay for our own excesses, for staying up all night while I was out. Nor will I admit that I was wrong at staying out late, crying, yelling back, attempting suicide, running away, trying to act older than I was, pretending I knew it all, using my education against them, mending my soul. All I wanted was to be free. Because if all those things didn't happen, then I wouldn't be the way that I am today. After a talk about religion, spirituality, faith, sexuality, disowning children, raising children and love, I called my parents. I said to my mom, I know what the sina, literally rouse the dead, caused a lot of trouble. But what's in God lucky that linang siokwa? I caused a lot of trouble going out late at night, and you stayed up for me. But I'm very lucky that you loved me. My mom laughs at me as I bawl, stuttering for her to listen. I love you. Thank you. You're so bad. She hands the phone to my dad. And I repeat Daddy's little girl sob. I rouse the dead, but I am lucky you love me. Very my dad-like. He tells me about his childhood in Vietnam and tells me to play with the good friends and leave the bad friends behind. I tell him I have them. He asks me if I need money. I ask him if he needs money. He thought I was crying because I was homesick. I told him I was. He told me to study hard and told me to say these things more often when I'm home. I told him, go to sleep. Bye, Daddy. And he said, I love you. Despite all the hardships, they loved me and never stopped knowing that I was their child. It's okay. You were a no kia, my dad said. No kia, child. Kia, walk. You, no walk. I was a child who did not walk the world and I was blind, but now I see. The roots that have been instilled within me. Freedom, spirit, love. The paths I have taken had had many obstacles, and they have all led me to healing and feeling more connected to myself, my spirit, my freedom, and my love. To my parents, to all parents, I am forever grateful for your patience, kindness, and love.